are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the College Loop Podcast, episode 133 of the College Loop Podcast, and a very happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there who are watching and listening as you get ready and possibly driving to your whatever family member you're going to watch, the Lions play, and then of course the Cowboys, and then the Egg Bowl, because I don't think anybody cares about that third NFL game. But I'm here joined by Mr. Harrison Tarr. Tarr, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, man. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our College Loop listeners. If this is your first time on the Loop, welcome and happy Thanksgiving. If you are a long-term listener, happy Thanksgiving. We're thankful for you guys. So hopefully everybody's enjoying a good day of family and friends, spending time together, eating more than you should ever eat at one time. It's completely okay. We all do it. You should too. Enjoy the post-lunch nap. People don't talk about that one enough.
Yeah, the food coma, if you will.
That's right. It used to be you could nap during the Lions games because you knew the Lions were going to lose, but now you kind of got to watch. They might win. Lots of fun happening at Thanksgiving. Dylan, glad that we could put out some content on Thanksgiving Day, as it will forever align with our scheduling, barring a change in our scheduling. So
I do believe Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday.
I've heard the rumor that it's always on a Thursday. My favorite thing is when people say, "What day is Thanksgiving this year?" Meaning what date? And my response is always Thursday.
The last one of the month, that one.
Yeah.
But of course, actually, the third one isn't it the last? Is it never?
It depends on when it falls. Because technically, it just depends.
I guess if the 30th is on a Thursday as well.
Yeah.
But before we get into some depressing talks on this episode, so everybody know, like, comment, subscribe, and while you're commenting, leave your favorite. What's your favorite food to eat on Thanksgiving? What do you eat more than everybody else? And
what do you think?
What are you thankful for as well? And over under 3.5 plates for yourself. How many are you going back for seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths?
If the line for me was 2.5, you could hammer the over. 3.5, we're looking at a push. Looking at
a coin toss, really.
Yeah, that's right.
But of course, the Thanksgiving dinner with your family is always fun, especially if your family splits 50-50 or however much it is. Alabama fans to Auburn fans, the Auburn fans who typically get accepted into their school, and the Alabama fans who typically do not. And of course, they are going to be talking very loudly this year, as they do every other year. And I've already seen it on Twitter enough. I am sick and tired of that fan base. I have been sick and tired of them for 20-ish years now. I have been one to. There was a story when I was 3 years old. I got into a 2-year-old's face and told him he was wearing the wrong shirt, and his I always screamed at him, "War Eagle, you're in the wrong shirt." The kid could not talk yet.
That's good. Well, you start them young, and it is Alabama Hate Week, and everyone has acted accordingly on the Bird app. I assume that everyone that's listening to the College Loop has also acted accordingly. We're going to talk right now, Dylan, about a couple of guys, as we do every single week. Because listen, I make this comp to college basketball, and you guys are probably going to hate this because you're going to think Iron Bowl's a bigger deal. It is, I agree, but you know how everybody dresses up to play Kentucky and they think it's some big special occasion? Yeah, well, it's business as usual right here at the College Loop for the Iron Bowl, because you're not special. You're just next. You might be the next loss, but you're next. So as we always do every week, we're going to talk about our two players, one on each side of the ball, for who needs to step up the most, who has the most approved, yada, 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 XYZ, whatever your logic may be there, Dylan, against Alabama in the biggest game of the year. Auburn coming in at 6-5, Alabama 10-1, and these teams are in quite different directions, but this game's at Jordan-Hare Stadium. The last time this game's ever going to be on CBS, I'm manifesting that. Thank God. Looking at night game Iron Bowls going forward, folks, on ESPN.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank God. But, Dylan, who needs to step up? We'll start on the offensive side of the ball. Who needs to have a big game? If Auburn's going to stay in and give themselves a chance to pull off what is, folks, after losing to New Mexico State, Auburn has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever, and just turn around and beat Alabama. It'd be very, very funny. How does Auburn get that done starting the offensive ball, Dylan?
You know what's worse than losing to New Mexico State? Losing to the team who lost to New Mexico State. And looking at this season thus far, you're not going to get my prediction yet. You're going to get that on the Friday show. Just so you know, I have lost the bug glasses. I don't know where exactly they are. They ran away. I'll listen to them talk to me. It'd be like a metal detector trying to find the bug. The bug
just
detector.
The basketball game, they'll start talking.
Yeah, they'll find me. But of course, looking at the season as a whole, Auburn is undefeated in games where they have a 100-yard rusher, whether that be a quarterback or a running back. But last game against Mexico State, the best rusher on the team was Peyton Thorne. The best player on the team was Peyton Thorne. And going into this game, the run game is going to be very important because Auburn needs to control the clock as much as possible playing against Alabama. And I'm looking right at that backfield. I am looking straight at number 27 himself, Jarquez Hunter, who is going to have a big game if Auburn wants any sliver of a chance to win or even cover the spread. If you want to scare Alabama, you need to come out swinging, punch them in the mouth, and no other player can do that more than Jarquez Hunter playing at full strength and full confidence.
Agreed completely. It starts with a running game, and I'm with you. Don't want to. If you wouldn't have said Jarquez Hunter, I probably would have gone there, but I'm going to go with my second option, the fallback layup. Peyton Thorne legacy game. Look, he's been playing good football, whether you like it or not, folks, over the past few weeks, and he was not the reason, in my opinion, not entirely to blame for the New Mexico State loss. I mean, sure, that shouldn't have happened. We're not going down that avenue. That's yesterday. That's history. But Peyton Thorne, if you step up and you have a legacy game against Alabama, everyone that's been talking all year about, I don't know, Peyton Thorne's right guy, whatever, yada, 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 Robbie Ashford, this, that, and the other, go to the portal, this, that, and the other, we're talking it. They'll all shut up. If you go out and you beat Alabama and you play the game of your life. If you've been saving the game of your life for one game this year, you picked the right one. Because if you go out there and you play the lights out and give your team a chance to win, you're firmly in the conversation to play quarterback next year at Auburn. If you go out there and you do win and you play lights out, you are the presumptive front runner. And more importantly, above both of those things, about where you stand next year, you're going to be heralded and remembered at Auburn. That is how you create a legacy. There have been some crummy Auburn teams that have come back and upset Alabama and really put a stain on Alabama's season. And you know what? At some point, if that's all you can do, you still want to beat that team across the state. Let's look at that 2019 team with Bo Nix. I'm not saying they were bad. I'm not saying that was a bad team. That team was the best team we've seen, I guess, in the past. Better than any team we've seen since.
Since 2019, that's been the best team we've seen.
Correct. Yeah, the best team we've seen since that point. But that was Bo Nix's Auburn moment, was playing his ass off and playing lights out against Alabama after being doubted as this true freshman. Looked like he was making a lot of mistakes, and he was in his first year. Came out, battled adversity, and took down Alabama. That is where it begins, is at the most important position of the field of the quarterback, Peyton Thorne. You got to step up and play big time because these guys aren't joking around. And you're going to feel for the first time, I know Michigan State's got this, great football environment. I use air quotes, whatever. This is going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced before. LSU can't prep you for it. Hosting Georgia at home can't prep you for it. Nowhere that you've played in your career is going to match what you're going to feel like on Saturday. How do you perform on the biggest stage of your, to this point, football career? That's where it starts and ends for me, Dylan. So let's go to the defensive side of the ball and let you pull out who you need to step up big time, Dylan.
I am going to go with the same guy I've been picking the last 3 weeks. If you're looking at who has been the best player defensively since he's been healthy, it's been Jalen McLeod, who was not a factor against Mexico State. I don't know if it was because he was hurt or just the whole team just was out of it. When it comes to Alabama's offense, you were looking at one player and one player alone. His name is Jalen Murrow, who's playing the best brand of football he's played all dadgum year. He can throw the ball deep. He's been accurate he's been as accurate as any other quarterback in this league has been, and he is, again, fast as crap. And if you are wanting to slow down Alabama offense, you are going to have to shut him down and force him to throw the ball. And if you can do that, you're going to get, if you can get pressure on him, Alabama's offensive line is not that good. It's not that good. All Auburn's got to do is get pressure on him. A&M was able to get pressure on him, but if you get pressure on him, you got to be ready for over the top. So, I mean, if I was to give honorable mentions to people, the secondary, you're going to have to look out for them, but I'm going to know you're probably going to go secondary for this. An honorable mention I do have, though, and I know they're going to show up and show out. They show up and show out every home game. It's going to be a packed house. The fans are going to be a big part of Auburn getting in Bama's head early. And that's what you're going to do. I say it all the time. If Auburn wants a sliver of a chance to win this game, offense, defense, and the fans need to be ready to come out and punch Alabama right in the mouth. It's exactly what you got to do to win this game.
From a fan perspective there, before I give my defensive player, it's going to kind of parallel you here in a second, Dylan. This fan base will show up, and they will be loud. make Alabama not realize that they're playing a 6-win team. Make them feel like they're playing an undefeated team that's battling them for the SEC West Championship. That's what this game feels like every single year. I know that hate is a strong word, and that's why I'm going to use it. Damn it, you hate them, and they hate you. Make their life miserable for 60, maybe 60-plus minutes of football. And Auburn fans will do that. I have the utmost confidence. I mean, I'm taking someone to their first Iron Bowl this weekend, Dylan. I'm taking Billy to his first Iron Bowl. And I tried to put into words to him how much different Iron Bowl day feels from any other game day. From the minute you first step on campus in the morning, if you're a diehard Auburn fan, from the minute you wake up, but from the minute you step on campus for the first time, it feels different. The energy is insane. The wins and losses don't matter. And as soon as you walk into Jordan-Hare Stadium, that is evident because everybody believes that they can do what may feel like the impossible. There's some validity and there's some traction in that cliche of Jordan-Hare Stadium is where good Alabama teams go to die because it is the best. And I'll make a quote graphic for this, Dylan. Jordan-Hare Stadium is the best home field advantage in the country. It is. And people don't talk about it enough because you want to talk about the Big House, Ohio State, whatever. Great environments, fantastic football venues. Jordan-Hare Stadium is deafeningly loud. Every quarterback ever that's played there said it's, if not one of the toughest places to play. Make it that way on Saturday. Someone else that can make it really, really tough on Jalen Milroe, specifically on Saturday, Eugene Asante. Let's take a look. And I know I said his name a lot. Dude's made a lot of money this year. Go make a bag on Saturday. Just go put down, I'm asking for a couple legacy games, but damn it, you're going to need them to beat this Alabama team. Go put Jalen Milroe on his butt and make him think about it. I'm talking about hard-hitting tackles. I'm not asking for targeting because we'd like you for all 60 minutes. But what I'm asking for is make him think twice before he rolls out and decides to pull that ball down. As soon as he's having that to fight a little bit of an internal battle about whether or not he can even get back to the line of scrimmage or pick up a couple, that's when you are in good shape and you're putting the ball, the game in the hands of your secondary. That's where you want to be. So that's our predictions for who needs to step up. I mean, the given here, Dylan, let's go ahead and address it. This is the biggest game of Hugh Freeze's career.
Oh, yeah.
Career. I love the Egg Bowl. I love watching the Egg Bowl. Pales in comparison to this one. It does. And after what happened last week, you pull off a win on Saturday, it all goes away. Winning's the ultimate cure-all. So we'll see if Auburn football can get the job done in the Iron Bowl on Saturday. We'll give our score predictions on the Friday show. I'm not sure if that's going to be with Will Miller yet or not. I know he said a couple things pop up. He actually told me that they've got some pretty cool stuff they're working on over in Tuscaloosa. I know sometimes we have to give credit where credit's due. We hate Alabama, but any student journalist, we still want to give a platform and give them an opportunity to be successful because at the end of the day, if they're nice to us, we'll be nice to them. There's a line. So we'll have to talk about that off air, actually, Dylan. They've got some really cool stuff cooking. Let's move over. And actually, before we do so, I want to remind everybody to make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell if you're listening right here on the College Loop YouTube channel. Give us your comments, like Dylan said. What are you thankful for? Who are you thankful for? What's your favorite Thanksgiving food? Score predictions for Iron Bowl. We're ready for those. Let's see how hard you guys are booging. If you guys are barning with us, I don't know that I'm barning, but in a hypothetical scenario, if I were, would you be barning with me? Also, give us recommendations for what you guys want to hear about on the Friday show, so we can make sure we can address those. We should be recording that after the show comes out, so we can actually take that into consideration. Any questions, we'll be happy to answer there. If you also want to continue to support the show, outside of obviously subscribe, ring the bell right here on the YouTube channel, and giving us a thumbs up, 5-star, or whatever streaming platform you may use, you can go to the warreport.com, pick up your very own. See if I can not trip over the rest of these words. War Report College Loop Podcast, co-branded Feeling Loopy t-shirt, comes in 5 different colorways. One of the most comfortable shirts you'll ever own. Only $25, and you can pick up that at thewarreport.com. If you don't feel like typing the link in the search bar, that's completely fine. You can find it in any of the descriptions for any of our shows. It'll tab you straight to it. Pick up one. Holiday season's rolling around. Use hashtag Feeling Loopy. Whenever you pick up your shirt, you just send us a selfie, whether that be on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever platform works for you. Email it to thecollegeloop1@gmail.com, and we will throw it up on the next stream. We appreciate you guys' continual support. We are tremendously thankful for y'all, and I hope you know that. Let's talk Auburn basketball, Dylan, right here on the College Loop podcast. Coming fresh off of a 84-54 rout of the Alabama A&M. They're the Bulldogs as well, right?
Yeah, they're the Bulldogs.
Alabama A&M Bulldogs on Tuesday night. So, yes, last night was Tuesday. I can't even remember what day it is anymore. It's just time's flying by. let's talk about this for a second here, Dylan. First off, Alabama A&M is just as bad, if not worse, as we thought they were. So Auburn took care of business on the box in the box score. Second half, not as impressive as a lot of people would have wanted. And I'm in that camp. And the free throws were pretty atrocious, specifically in the first half. Team shooting 72-2 a composite, but that stat line looks way better than it is. This team is struggling from the stripe, and that's my real big grievance. But Dylan, when you take a look at the box score, when you go back and watch film, what stood out to you? We talked about. I'm going to put the ball on the tee, and I want to let you kind of expand on this. We talked about this on the Tuesday show about an opportunity to let different guys play with each other and let other guys kind of figure out the chemistry. Where did you see improvement there?
Chaney Johnson. I saw a lot of improvement out of Chaney Johnson. Led the team in scoring. Seemed to find that. I just said finally, I think 4 times in a sentence. Chaney Johnson was able to go out there and find a rhythm. He was dunking the ball. We got to see bunnies from Chaney Johnson, which we've been waiting to see for 5 games now. Came out 15 points, got 4 rebounds, got 2 steals, got a block, and I mean, Katie Johnson threw a beautiful pass to Chaney on a. I was about to say an alley, but it wasn't really an alley. It was kind of just a wide open pass he got thrown to. But it really shows the depth of this team, seeing them come out in a very odd-looking starting 5 with Aiden Holloway, Trey Donaldson, Dylan Cardwell, Jay Will, and Semo. Semo also got 0 points in 23 minutes, which
I know.
That's sad.
Something to keep an eye on. But we mentioned playing different guys in different spots.
Yeah, he only shot the ball once. Maybe I'm trying to use him as a different as a just see where he fits in on this team a little bit better. See if he can play more of a defensive. Exactly. Sometimes you just don't need people to shoot. Dylan Cardwell came out and put up 6 points, 9 rebounds for Cardwell.
Most impressive stat line: 0 fouls.
0 fouls from Dylan Cardwell, which is just so beautiful to see. But overall, I mean, this game was the walk-ons got in at the end of this game. So you're kind of only using a little bit. And for the free throws, I mean, I can understand people getting upset, but I mean, Katie Johnson only missed 1, Leo Berman missed 2, CBM missed 1, Chaney missed 1, Janai missed 2, Aiden Holloway missed 2, and then Jay will miss 1. But then that all adds up to missing 10 as a team.
Yeah, and you see, I get it. It looks better on paper. I think that I'm going to justify some concern here. When you're whooping up on opponents like this, and you have the opportunity to use this as we can now look back and say glorified scrimmage, and use it in that capacity. That is the time where you're allowed to say, guys, we got to get better from the stripe. Especially if you're going to work that into your game plan to force your way to the stripe and draw and ones, you got to pull those 3-point plays. I know that it's unbelievably unrealistic for me to ask this team to shoot 80+ from the stripe. It's just, I mean, especially when you have big shooting free throws, that's not how that works out. But consistent, specifically from your guards and your threes, I want those free throws to fall a significant. My guards and threes, I want to shoot 80+ from the stripe. I don't think that's unrealistic, Dylan. And that's what I'm asking for. Like Aiden Holloway missing two free throws was kind of like you want to pull your hair out. Like you're too good for this kid. Like you're way too good to be doinking free throws off the back iron. And I guess that's where you nitpick between that and just looking flat. There was a 7-8 minute run in the second half where Auburn didn't score a basket, did not score a field goal. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And I know that this is coming off of a 30-point win. You guys are going to think I'm dramatic here. Right now is the time that when you're playing these lower level opponents that you got to be able to look back and say, hey, guys, we sucked right here. There is always room for improvement. And I'll tell you what, Dylan, I've been watching the Maui Gym Invitational a lot. There's a reason Auburn's not the top 10, top 15 right now. I'm not saying they're not a good ball club and they can't be there. That's not what I'm getting at, folks. But there are some damn good basketball teams in the NCAA this year. Last year was kind of parity, right? We had a lot of parity in college basketball. I'm a little bit afraid this year may be a little top heavy because we've got some really good teams in Purdue and Marquette and Kansas got blown out yesterday, but they still look good doing it somehow. I mean, like you keep going through that list. UCLA's unranked and they look great. There are Tennessee. Hell, Tennessee should be sitting there playing for a championship if their guard wouldn't have fouled when they shouldn't have at the end of the game. This is a very competitive league, and it's going to be a very competitive field this year come to March. I think more so than maybe in recent years since Bruce Pearl's maybe run the Final Four, which was just unbelievable. But this team's got to get better, and they got to get better quick. They'll get a test against Indiana. They'll get a good test against USC. Talented USC team. Get better before then. That's where I know I'm nitpicking Dylan, and I know that that's probably not what people want to hear. But scoreless streaks that long are unacceptable, and you got to get better from beyond the arc. Also, keep cleaning up on the boards. Every single game should be emphasized on defensive, playing solid defensive rebound. That's kind of where I'm nitpicking. I love this offense. I got no beef with this offense. None.
Well, I was about to say, I was looking at it. Simo got 4 defensive rebounds. J. Will got 5. Dylan Cardwell got 4. Chaney got 4. Janai got 3.
Oh, they all rebounded Alabama A&M 48-27.
Yeah.
But now you can do it. Do it every game. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
You got the bodies.
I mean, defensive rebounds, they out rebound them 35-21.
Auburn is playing too good of basketball right now to give their opponents multiple chances on the offensive side of the floor. Just clean up on the defensive glass. I'm not going to nitpick that hard on the offensive side of the glass, but the defensive side of the glass, you've got to lock in and win those battles, or at least make them even, because your offense can boat race people. Yeah, we're saying this about Auburn basketball, folks. This offense can boat race people again. But you got to make sure you're not killing yourself in terms of not grabbing defensive rebounds. I mean, how good is this team off the fast break, Dylan? They're awesome. They are awesome off the fast break. Give yourself those opportunities. That's all I ask.
I would say I didn't appreciate the people complaining on Twitter, though, like overtly complaining about this team for whatever reason against, because they were like, oh, well, this team didn't really mesh well because this is the games where Bruce Pearl mixes up the lineups. Usually, he does this every year. You're going to see games where you're just getting very weird lineups going in just to see what works.
Which is good.
And I don't understand people complaining about it.
And I'll be honest, when a team's this good, if he runs your normal rotations in this game, hiccup. If you run those normal rotations, you can run up score, no problem. And then you have kind of a little bit of a hard time, more than likely, finding things to complain about. Bruce needs to be able to lay into these guys after a 30-point win. Like that, there is a tremendous amount of value being 5 games into your season, 4 games into your season, and still saying Bruce is coaching his ass off still and is never happy with where he's at right now. You should not be happy with where you're at until March.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, Alabama A&M tripled their score in the second half. So
yes,
finding reasons and ways for Bruce Pearl to talk to this team about how to get better. All right, you did this in the second half. Do this next time, no matter who you're playing. That strategy still stands no matter what team you're playing.
Absolutely.
And the goal is to always get better no matter what game you were playing. I don't care if you're playing, a high school team.
There's exactly one game ever that I don't care if you got better as long as you win, and that is the national championship.
Exactly.
I don't care. After that, I can look and be like, you know what? That was not their best game, but they won, and I really don't care. Like that's where I would draw the line.
I'm buying a replica ring, and y'all played bad, and we won. I don't care.
Yeah, but I do care if you play a game like that and win in the Final Four. I still care. Like,
but overall, it's a good win. Never downplay a win in basketball. In football, you can kind of do it. A win's not always a win in football, but a win's always a win in basketball. Because you never know when a team's gonna get hot.
Bingo.
Basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, even almost every sport except for I want to say football. You're going to get very streaky teams that are going to hurt you no matter what they do. Second half came along, Alabama A&M got hot a little bit, and shut down Auburn's offense. Unless Auburn shut down their own offense, and then they came out and tripled their score. Auburn still, yeah. And I guess any other sport I could possibly think of is swimming and diving.
In my opinion, too, basketball is the ultimate equalizer. Like, there are clearly better teams, and there's a damn good team, Marquette, right now. I'm telling you right now, they're my number one team. If I were to give out my rankings right now, they would be my number one team far and away. We'll find out. They play Purdue this evening, so we'll find out where they're at. But
there's a reason. There's a reason why March Madness, the 16 seeds.
Bingo. And basketball is such a game of if you're off, you are off. It is tough to out-talent teams if you're off. You can out-talent them and just be kind of okay that day, but you're gonna be fighting an uphill battle if you don't have anybody knocking down shots and we're playing good defense. So that being said, I want to remind everybody, Auburn basketball, I think they're awesome this year. I really do. I think this team is going to be awesome. So I'm not pressing the panic button, but also like you can ask for more and it'd be okay. Like, you can ask for Chris Moore, and it can be okay.
And women's basketball, on the other hand, a lot of stuff to fix before they play next. That's pretty much all we really have for
We're
that.
gonna leave that there. A lot of things for Auburn women's basketball, and I do think that we'll be okay. This team's a lot of newcomers, Dylan, but on a 2-game skid against the UCF team, I think you should have beat. And I don't know, man. There's just a lot of things you got to figure out there in terms of lineups, rotations, and a lot of things to get right for the SEC the SEC play. That being said, let's talk Thanksgiving. Auburn Thanksgiving. War damn Thanksgiving. Dylan, you've put together some pretty fun stuff. And we actually, before we get into War damn Thanksgiving, we are going to continue with Auburn basketball and give our all-time starting 5 plus a 6-man for both men's and women's basketball. Dylan, I'm just going to let you read your men's. I'll read my men's, and we'll do the same thing with women's.
Word. All right. Do we want to go position by position, or do you want me to read my whole team out?
You can just read your whole team out. Like, we'll just read your whole team, and then I'll read mine.
All right. So starting at point guard for my all-time Auburn basketball team, I have Sharif Cooper.
Okay.
Shooting guard, I have Bryce Brown.
Okay.
I could do this like the call it like the PA announcer. Starting at small forward, number 10, Jabari Smith.
Okay.
Starting at power forward, number 34, Charles Barkley. Coming at the 5, coming from Fairburn, Georgia, transferring in from UNC, Walker Kessler.
Who's your 6-man?
6-man. Playing at what number is he? Crap. Isaac Okoro. I can't remember his number. Is my 6-man, and of course I did coach.
Layup answer. I'll go and spoil my coach, Bruce Pearl.
Bruce Pearl.
Yeah. So actually, our 5's not different. I went a little smaller than you, and then we used all the same players. So that's super neat. I started Reef at the 1. I've got Bryce at the 2, Isaac at the 3, Jabari at the 4. I'm gonna have him play like a stretch 3, kind of big 4 role, and then I had Chuck playing 5. I've got a smaller rotation, but I really like the points there. And I like the defensive abilities that Isaac and Chuck bring to the floor. I just need Reef to put up a bunch of points. So that's
which is going to happen.
Yeah. And my 6-man is Walker Kessler for when Charles Barkley inevitably runs out of gas. And I'm going to put in Walker because Walker's also a good pick and roll from the top of the key. Much better, I think, than Charles ever was. That's no slight at him. I just think he's better at it.
Yeah, that's why I put Isaac in it, because I feel like if you defensively, my team works out best because you have Chuck and Walker in the paint together. And then if you need to score, move Barry back to the 4, take Barkley out, put Isaac in at the 3.
Yeah, so we basically have the same rotation here, except for
if you were to go one more deeper, who would you go? Is it Chuma? Because that might be Chuma.
I think mine would also be Chuma. I don't know. Simeon Bowers would be up there.
Yeah, you're right. I love me some Simeon Bowers.
I had to sit there and debate that one. Mine, in case you couldn't tell by my lineup, and yours pretty much too. True 3 and D rotations.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be fun. I'll start women's basketball, and then we'll go over to yours. We'll see how close ours are. My team is pretty small. I've got DeWanna Bonner, Ruthie Bolton, Vicky Orr, Becky Johnson, Unique Thompson, and 6th man, honestly, Scott Grayson coming off the bench for real shooting threat beyond the arc. My head coach is obviously Joe Champion.
Yeah, same. So starting at the guard, I should have pulled all their numbers. I hate that I didn't do this, but honestly, Scott Grayson coming at the 2, Caroline Jones.
I like that one.
Coming at the 3, DeWanna Bonner. At
Yeah,
the 4,
5'9" is crazy.
Coming in at the 4, Unique Thompson. Coming at the 5, Vicky Orr.
Like that.
6th man, Becky Jackson.
I like that.
Your head coach for my all-time starting women's basketball team, Joe Champy.
Yeah, as if that wasn't a layup. Yeah,
I have my 5 over your 5.
I think it's a good game. It's gonna be wildly different play styles.
Oh yeah,
completely different. Okay, let's roll.
Did you not have a Unique in yours?
I did have Unique playing the 4 and have Becky Jackson in the 5.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Let's roll into War Damn Thanksgiving. Let's do it. for those of you guys listening here at the College Loop, I want you guys to comment along with all this.
And give your all-time teams as well.
Yeah, give us your all-time teams as well, for sure. But as we go through this, we want to hear your answers, because I think these are going to be so fun. If you don't, if you're listening on a streaming platform, not on YouTube, totally fine. Tweet at us if you want. We can start a thread. That's not a problem.
Yeah, this will be a graphic. Definitely.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun thread. All right, Dylan, let's hear them.
All right, so we have 3 different questions to ask everybody and ourselves. Starting off with, which coach currently on campus would be the best chef for a Thanksgiving meal?
I got Butch, man. Butch Thompson. I feel like he's been cooking in terms of building this baseball program, and I think he continues to cook on Thanksgiving Day. I think that he's going to have some kind of recipe. He also strikes me as the kind of guy, and you can't assume anything without making an ass out of you and me, but also, like, I'm assuming. I think he's a big, like, into, like, smoking food. You know what I mean? Like a smoked turkey. Like, turn me up. I'm here. I'm listening. Butch, I'm ready for the Thanksgiving invite, man. So I got Butch Thompson doing it.
I was trying to think of different coaches, position coaches. Jake Thornton almost came to my mind a little bit, because O-line coach.
O-line, they got to be able to eat.
You got to eat. But head coaches, I went with Brent Crouch, hard-nosed guy that hey, you put him in the kitchen, he gonna cook up something nice.
That's right. He's been cooking on the court too.
I honestly feel, if I was to put a bet on which Auburn coach can make the best brisket, I would probably say Brent Crouch. I cannot lie. So I'm gonna give it to the guy with the goatee.
I like that.
I trust the goatee.
That's right.
Our second Thanksgiving themed question of the morning, afternoon, evening, whichever one you are watching this on, is, which athletes, all-time athletes, would you love to have at your Thanksgiving meal? 1 men's and 1 women's.
Okay. My women's answer is going to be a little controversial here, folks. I don't know if y'all are all going to counter. I will. I think Bree Ellis, and I invite the rest of the Ellis family. They are funny, really fun people. Shout out to the Ellis family, friends of the program, family of the program, hell. I think they would be a ton of fun. I'm gonna let you give your women's. I'm reconsidering my men's right now. So give me a second.
My women's, it's kind of hard. You know, it's an American holiday. It is the American holiday.
Right.
And what better way to celebrate an American holiday than bringing an all-American athlete who has won multiple medals for the country? I'm going with Sunisha Lee as my guest. You know, high energy. She's a lot of fun to be around. Great personality. Soon to be a lot of fun, especially if you brought the medals. It'd be kind of hard to argue.
That's right.
It's like, hey.
Anytime that an argument breaks out, she just pulls out her Olympic gold medal, and then just whatever she says is automatically valid.
Exactly.
I like that. I'm actually going to change my answer from what I said pre-show. For men's athlete, I'm going to go with kind of an obscure one, not super obscure. I think Will Hastings would be a ton of fun. I think he'd be super cool to hang out with. I had a couple of times interacting with Will Hastings when I was 17 and asked him what are Saturdays for, and he said they're for the boys. Who else would they be for? I think that's when he solidified himself as one of my favorite Auburn athletes of all time. I think Will Hastings would be a blast. And, dude, think about it. Pick a football team, you got your slot receiver.
Oh, well, yeah, dude. The White Lightning got his nickname for a reason.
Yeah, I'm going Will Hastings.
If you know me, if you know who I put as my favorite player of all time, my favorite athlete of all time, favorite athlete in general of all time, I think I would choose a lot of this player over pretty much. I'd vote this man for president if he ran. I can't lie. I don't care what his standards are. Mine's Cam Newton. No one in this world would I rather have show up by Thanksgiving than Cameron Jarrell Newton.
But he's got to bring you a wardrobe change too. Like he's got to. He's got to hook you up with some drip.
Dude, I know people hate on him a lot for his dress. Dude, if he showed up with like my size and everything, I throw it on. The hat, the giant hat. Dude, I'm throwing that on.
The best part about Cam Newton is he's unapologetically Cam Newton. It's awesome.
Which is the best part about him.
Yeah, exactly.
The best personality I've ever seen from any Auburn player ever. I literally high-fived him at the Chattanooga game in 2010, and I vowed right there and then I was never going to wash my hand ever again. Sadly, it didn't make it that far afterwards. Really, but I really did not. I was going to put my hand off and preserve it, And then later on in life, I was going to make a clone of Cam Newton and, bring him back to Auburn with, 4 years of eligibility this time.
I like that.
It was a whole scheme I had in mind, but sadly I washed my hand.
I don't hate that scheme.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure everyone else would agree with that. The top Auburn scientists are currently looking at my hand as we speak under a microscope, trying to find any sliver of Cam Newton DNA that would have left over by the high five.
Right.
But yeah, Cam Newton. I mean, the personality, just everything about Cam makes him just the best guy. I'd invite him to any party I ever have. So if we ever do this kind of question again,
are you going to send him, like, when you get married, you're going to send him an invitation to your wedding? No, like, that's the thing people do is they send, like, celebrities that they would want at their wedding invites.
I will be doing that.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to see if Cam can officiate it. That's what I'm gonna go for.
I think he's ordained. I think he's like officiated a wedding before. Like, I don't quote me, but it'd be really funny if he was already ordained. It was like, yeah, I'm already qualified.
I'm sure he would be completely down.
Yeah.
To ordain my wedding, I would wear his jersey underneath my tux.
Mm-hmm.
I would ask him to bring the Heisman Trophy so I can take pictures with it, more so than my wife.
Yeah, you know what? Let's make sure we make sure that Lauren listens to specifically the 36-minute block of this show. She's gonna love it.
Head of the table, me, Cam, Lauren.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, Cam for sure. Just getting an invite to my Thanksgiving. And lastly, probably the most sentimental question of them all. What is one thing that Auburn fans should be thankful for this Thanksgiving?
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay, I am going to get a little sentimental here. Auburn fans should be thankful to be part of something very, very special. Win, lose, on the field, off the field, whatever it looks like, being part of the Auburn family changed my life. It altered my life in the best way it possibly could. It made me a better man, it made me a better person. It introduced me to a ton of people that are lifelong friends and that I now consider family. Being part of this, a lot of people call it a fan base. We call it a family for a reason. Is something special that not a lot of people get. That's why a lot of people think Auburn's kind of culty. We a little bit are, and that's okay. A lot of people don't understand it because they're not a part of it. But the people that I brought around it, that are not conventional members of the Auburn family, that are now members of the Auburn family, they get it because you guys are such a special group, and that's why I love doing the show so much, Dylan, because we get to interact with the most special people in the world. So, all sporting, X's and O's put aside, you're part of something really, really cool that nobody else in the world is, and you should take a lot of pride in that. I know I got sentimental, but I mean,
yeah, mine went completely the other direction. Recruiting. Auburn fans be very thankful for recruiting. Auburn football for next year is currently ranked in the top 20 at 17, with a 5-star in that class and potentially another one. Another 5-star wide receiver. 2025 class is currently top 5. And of course, basketball is bringing in Todd Pettiford and Ja'Kai Howard next year. Baseball had a top, the 4th best class coming in. So MLB draft experts, stay away from our recruiting class.
There's nothing going on. If you're signed to Auburn, they're not very good, we promise. Take our word for it. Source,
if you take any of our players MLB, I will find you.
They ain't hard to find.
What do you mean? I think they are, because the viewership is going down. They're very hard to find.
Right.
But college baseball going up, so play for Auburn instead. But yeah, recruiting all around. Auburn, this athletic facility has brought in some of the best recruiters in the country. And Auburn fans should be very thankful to have coaches like Hugh Freeze and Bruce Pearl and Coach Jay and Butch and Mickey and Brent Crouch. And I just forgot her name earlier, the equestrian coach. I don't know why I just forgot her name. As I looked it up as soon as we started recording, and I did not do my due justice of remembering it. Jessica Braswell as well, swimming and diving. Every single coach in this Auburn athletic facility can recruit. And we should be very thankful of that as Auburn slowly becomes back into the sphere that is in everything school. And Auburn fans should be very thankful of that. Not very sentimental. Just be
I'm sorry. We went different directions there. I think we're both right.
I'm more right. Just kidding. Yeah, we're both very, very much right. I am just very thankful that Auburn can recruit. But with that, I'll make sure to be in the comments during this. Hopefully,
What's
I
your
am.
favorite Thanksgiving food, Dylan? Tell me.
Favorite Thanksgiving food? Ooh, it depends.
Mine's dressing by a landslide.
I do love some good old dressing. I know. I think I messed up on the last. Was it live on the last episode when I said I messed
I
up?
can't remember, but it's okay. We got
Yeah.
better.
I do love some good old fashioned dressing if it's made right.
Right?
I'm very in favor of a good old roll.
Yes.
And let's see, I do love me some ham, mac and cheese. Man, I'm just reading out my entire plate.
How about I say, we're just finding out what Dylan's plate looks like.
My first plate.
Thanksgiving plate.
My first plate is, and my third plate. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go with. I would probably go dressing.
Dressing.
Dressing's very good.
Dressing, the official Thanksgiving food of the College Loop podcast.
Dressing and a lot of ham on the side.
That's right. Drop in the comments if you listen on YouTube. Tweet at us on Twitter. What your favorite Thanksgiving food is, what you're thankful for as an Auburn fan, all of the above. If we've talked about it today, we want to hear your takes. That's what today's show was designed for. We wanted you guys to have fun, something fun to enjoy, and didn't want to nag too much on anybody in terms of their things to complain about. But honestly, at the end of the day, this is Thanksgiving. Spend time with family and friends. Be appreciative and be thankful that you get to spend that time with your loved ones. I am Harrison Tarr by Harrison Tarr of the Bird app. If you want to come hang out with me, love to have that. I'm at by Harrison Tarr on Instagram as well. If you want to support the show, there's a couple ways you can do so, and we certainly appreciate it. Number one, if you're listening on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Drop a comment so you can stay up to date with everything going on right here at the College Loop Podcast. Number two, if you want to head over to thewarreport.com, you can find it in the link to our description. You can go pick up your very own College Loop Podcast, War Report Podcast Network, co-branded Feeling Loopy t-shirt. Comes in 5 different colorways, most comfortable shirt you will ever own in your entire life. Like I said, holidays are right around the corner. Pick one up for your loved ones, Black Friday. If you want to knock that out, you put that on your shopping list for Black Friday. We certainly appreciate it. If you purchase a College Loop or co-branded Feeling Loopy t-shirt, make sure you go on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or email us a selfie of yourself wearing the Feeling Loopy shirt. Use hashtag Feeling Loopy, that's feeling without a G, on whatever social media platform makes you feel the most happy. And we will make sure to throw it up on the next stream. Thank you guys for your continual support. We love and appreciate every single one of you guys. Be safe, be well, enjoy your Thanksgiving with friends and family, and let us know the final score of your family football game after Thanksgiving lunch. I know that we all got one. We all got one. So I'm getting ready to pick my little cousin for the 5th straight year. I'm excited. He's going well.
Sadly, I don't have one of those. I mean, I've had the same like itinerary every year of Thanksgiving. I get to my family's house, sit on the couch, watch the last 30 minutes to an hour of the Thanksgiving Day parade, watch the first 30 minutes of the dog show, watch the first half of the Lions game, go throw football with my dad during halftime, come back in for the second half, eat during the second half, watch the start of the Dallas Cowboys game, leave, get home in time for the Egg Bowl, and then sleep.
There you go.
But this time around, it's going to be watch the Egg Bowl, not go to sleep, record the Iron Bowl preview, then fall asleep at like 1 a.m.
We're going to have a good time, and we do it all for you guys here at the Loop. So, Dylan, let's get out of here.
Of course, I'm Dylan Larck, @Tank on Twitter /X. Whenever you type in, it redirects. I'm also Dylan Larck on Instagram @DylanLarck @DYLANLARCK. And of course, you have to check out the College Loop, which like, comment, subscribe right here on the YouTube. Also have us on Twitter /X, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the works, all at the College Loop. And of course, if you want to listen to us instead, I completely understand it. It's kind of hard to watch the video and drive on Thanksgiving. So check out the audio version where it's going to be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. And you also get to avoid watching Tar's face as well. Thought I wasn't going to get dig on you during Thanksgiving? Hands are still ready to eat for everyone, no matter what day it is. But of course, all that being said, happy Thanksgiving. Leave your predictions for the Iron Bowl and enjoy the time with your family, even if they happen to be Alabama fans. They deserve to have at least one day where we don't have to deal with them. But then again, mess with them. Who cares? But with all that being said, this has been the College Loop Thanksgiving Day podcast.
Love you guys.